Why, hello there, everyone. It is I, Monkey Man Gamer, and letting you know I didn't throw a single stat creaser on Forde. He leveled up once, and I believe he got HP, Strength, Skill, and Speed, which is a pretty damn good level up. And then I didn't use him until the desert map. So he was benched all that time, and then I gave him Metis's Tomb, and then I sent him into the Tower of Olney alone, and this is how he's turned out at level 11. So, I'm just going to give you a taste of what a good Forde can do. And yes, I did turn him into a Great Knight, because I prefer Great Knight over Paladin. Several reasons why I prefer Great Knight over Paladin is they get access to axes, and overall I just think they look cooler. Pitfall and shut up. Pitfalls only exist because you let them exist. I could make my entire team frickin' Great Knights and Sages if I truly wanted to. That's not a pitfall, that is my preference. Look, 1 rounds, everyone. Ooh, juicy level up. Skill, HP, luck, and resistance. Hopefully this doesn't break my recording. Okay. Let it run for a little bit. Also, if you don't know what I'm doing, my computer that I'm playing this on is a Chromebook. And I'm playing this on a Chromebook. Woo. Worst type of computer ever. Using the quote-unquote worst unit on the worst computer. Also, people want to sit there and shit-talk Amelia. Amelia's freaking amazing. Get her super trainee with either Ross, or get her with Franz at max conversation. My brain has farted, so the supports. There we go. My brain is just always on the fritz. So, yeah, I guess that's me. What should I call this video? Proving Forde can be good, I guess. So he got 1 level up, and seeing as I want him closer to all of the others and to just absorb it, like absorb all of the XP. If his weapons break, it don't matter. Options, I'll turn them off. And just, oh, he did a crit. Turned him off, and we don't even get to see his lance crit. Oh well. Also, what sucks is they changed the way that the save state function works, so I can't make save states in case I want to go back and try something else, which I normally just use to experiment with the way RNG works, which is weird, because if one unit with like a crit of like 27 lands a crit, and then you go back to the save state you made right before them attacking, and you use someone with like a 5% crit, for some reason they seem to hit with a crit. It's weird. I don't know quite how to explain it. Well, he didn't get a level up. That's sad. Probably because he's already too good. Too good for his own kind. Now, not gonna lie, I did make Forde my an MVP of my playthrough. So, he was the one who killed Four Mortis. He absolutely wrecked him. Yep, Forde soloing the last boss. This is a save I made for my brother, so that way he could use my units against me in the arena if you were to promote them to other characters and stuff. But I made a save state right here with all of these units like this, so Cormac is broken. Uh-oh. Okay, it's still recording. Oh, thank God. Joshua is amazing as always. Tana's, of course, that. Here's Vanessa, always broken. Renok is decent. Bought a bunch of Shines and Lunas. Seth, God as always. Kyle. Kyle. Did you you know something's up when your Forde is better than Kyle. Let's check Franz. Yeah, Franz is I turned Franz into I turned Forde into a whoops. Of course, I made Kyle a paladin because it's what I normally turn him into. So yeah, Franz is Franz, you're falling behind your brother, because I know Forde will actually catch up to you, like really quick. Okay, items. Wait, why does he have the Hoplum Guard on him? Oh, that's right, I put it on him so that way he avoids critical attacks from like killer weapons. So if you actually put the time and effort into grinding Forde in the Tower of Volney after giving him the tomb, he's actually a freaking amazing unit, because he maxed out his strength, skill, and speed before fighting for Mortis. Oh, there he goes. Getting a 5-stat level up. People say it couldn't be done. And yet it's being done. Forde is, in a sense, it's just when everyone's sitting there being like, Forde's not good. I don't want to see a good Forde. Just you wait. I'm going to get this Forde to level 20, and whatever stat he doesn't have increased, I'm going to throw my freaking stat increasers on him, and then we'll see who's a good Forde. You know what? I'm going to get him level 20, throw the stat increasers on him that he needs, and then I'm just going to have him solo the rest of the game. Who needs other units? Of course, it's just going to be him and the Lord will supply him with items such as healing and whatnot. At the final mission, I will bring one of my healers with a physic on it. With a physic? Psychic? I don't know. My brain's flat. I haven't played Fire Emblem in a little bit, so yay. One round's a skeleton. Yep. Sticking a total of 10 damage. Hopefully, nothing bad happens to him. It's definitely one-rounding everything. The only issue that he has that I've noticed when playing with him is he is basically a glass cannon when you give him the tomb. Meaning he is a bit squish, but he hits like a truck. I know. It's not supposed to be Forde. I need to stop holding this speed up for a minute so that way game doesn't bug out, which I don't want to happen. If you want, I will go through, if I get enough people to watch this and if I get enough likes, I will go back through and I will re-level Forde on camera from level 6 with the tomb on him. I'll show you just how good Forde can frickin' be. Everyone wants to sit there and say Forde's crap. I'm gonna prove everyone wrong when most of his level ups come in 4s and 5s for stats. Okay, so I believe he leveled up. Did he level up another time? I don't know. His stats are mostly flat, so it's hard to tell what he gets for level ups and whatnot. He was at 45 health, so yeah, he leveled up twice, and he got health both times. Any of these, a type of axe I don't like. Well, he can go at them with any of his weapons, and he should be fine. Let's equip that. Have him wait. Options. Turn it on for a little bit. Okay, the first two move, and then the other two sit back for a turn. So, got triple zeros on a Tarvos. Then again, he is using a silver sword, and he is quite a bit over-leveled for where we are in the Tower of Volney. I wonder if I have all of Volney unlocked. I should have it all unlocked with how many levels I've done since unlocking Volney. Because each time you complete a mission, you get another floor to the tower. For those of you who don't know and just sit there and watch normal playthroughs of Fire Emblem and say Forde is bad because Mecha and Mang say he's bad. Yeah, if I were to do a grab bag with my brother again, I would definitely pick Forde and just throw him on the bench and wait until the desert pops up, and then I would use him in the Tower of Volney. I do believe the way, if me and my brother were to do it again, I would probably set up a rule where he can only go in the Tower of Volney twice per mission, which means if he has to retreat, that's one whole time of being in the Tower of Volney, and set in other things to implement making the Tower of Volney harder to grind, like you can only bring 3 people per floor. Meaning you won't get as many levels, but each unit will get more XP on them. Trying to think of how I'd want to do it with my brother if we are to do grab bag. Puny skeleton. Don't know what else to say except for don't use Forde until you get the thing on him. Also, something I did notice about Sacred Stones is it's so easy to use units that are under-leveled and have no problems leveling them up. Because most of the enemies are generally just weak. Because if you look at Cyrene's level, all of the, Cyrene's mission, all of the druids on that mission have very low health and very low stats. And are overall very easy to deal with. Then again, they are considered higher level units, so she levels up quickly on the map. If I end up making a Fire Emblem hack with my brother, which I hope we'd be able to do, I plan on having a similar level, but instead of a flying unit on said level, it would be a hero of some sorts. That seems like they're super weak, but their stat growths are going to be insane, closer to Corel's, and they will end up looking more like Garrick or Harkin by the final mission if you use them. So let's take out the remaining couple of these enemies. Options. Unfortunately, the ROM hack, or the ROM that I'm using, not ROM hack, the ROM that I'm using, the VBA thing to play the ROMs on, doesn't, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have a faster speed up button aside from the spacebar, so it only doubles how fast things are moving, unless it starts glitching and having problems like it sometimes does. Pick units. Aphrium. Just take lances off of him and give them to Forde when I need them. So in other words, Ephraim's going to stay back here. Guess I could also take the heals off of him when need be. So he's about to get another level up. Now, there is 1 or 2 times that Forde got a level up where he only had like 2 or 3 stats increase. Okay, that's a Sword Slayer, no Sword Weaver. But it still does like jack shit to Forde. Oh no, 2 damage. Also, overall, the Lords of Fire Emblem 8 are just broken. They're just like, why? You can literally solo most of the game with just Ephraim, with how freaking tanky he is and how much damage he does. I mean, he's not tanky, but he's by far like one of the strongest lords ever. That's not already promoted. Of course, a fair bit of, like 90% of my knowledge of Fire Emblem is just to Sacred Stones, but I've played quite a bit of Fates. I've played 6 and 7. I've beat 7 once, and I beat 6 once. I haven't played either on their hardest difficulty, unfortunately. Really want to, but I don't think anyone would sit there and watch me play it, because, I mean, there's already tons of content of people playing it, and playing it hacked, and playing other stuff that's a lot cooler than, like, the base stuff. Well, skill maxed out. Also, Forde, what are you doing in this save? Just your health, your strength, dude. You're making me look funny in front of these people. You had yours maxed out. I mean, his strength growth is only 45%, and he only leveled up, 3 times? So, in other words, just Forde things. It's like the only way I can put it. Oh, he's got 21 uses of the Iron Axe left. Let's move you forward, because no one's going to move into range of you, because everyone up here doesn't move. The unit that spawns here never moves, and the other units move when someone's in range. All of these units over here also move when someone's in range. This map is mainly units that only move when you're in range, so it's very easy to do this floor of the Tower of Volney, even though there's a lot of poison and very strong spiders. Well, strong if you're not my Forde, or like any non-promoted unit lower than the level of 15. Do I want to give him the lances before he fights the boss on this floor? Definitely will. Okay, all of those broke. You only need a vulnerary. Also, the only glitch I know how to do, like of any sorts, is the Rune Sword glitch, because it's fairly easy to execute and you get a lot of rune swords from it, so also if me and my brother do a grab bag, I plan on banning that. Like the next grab bag I plan on doing. Also, what I need to do is restart the grab bag that I already have started with my brother, because I lost the save file, and yeah, it was not pretty. I played a lot of Fire Emblem while sitting here contemplating whether I wanted to restart it or not, and it's the only, like, it's the first thing that I want to try and complete for a actual series on my channel is that grab bag. So once I get all of the levels done and see where I was and what I was doing, I will do seeing as the RNG for each profile is exactly the same, because all the numbers are lined up and everything, which I've noticed it's not a random number generator. The only reason why it seems different for everyone's single playthrough on Sacred Stones is due to the fact that people make different choices, and those different choices lead to different actions which burn different numbers. Like me sitting here going through the Tower of Volney is burning completely different numbers than what anyone else would be burning, because I go through the Tower of Volney and I burn numbers by doing such. I burn numbers as a side product of going in the Tower of Volney. So, yeah. Hopefully the smaller spider attacks me first. There we go. I mean, it doesn't really matter unless this spider actually levels me up. No, it didn't really matter. Proceed to next floor. Yes. What does Forde have on him? Low durability items. Formation. Put you there. Pick units. Ephraim. Don't disappoint me, Forde. You got 6 levels to go and 6 strength that you can possibly get. 6 of any other stat as well. Yeah, it's strange. I'm recording you on screen and your RNG's a hell of a lot worse. Why? Why is it that you perform the best when I use you off screen? It's funny in a terrible sense that he's actually good when I use him. Like, I actually deploy this unit normally. I don't even use the tomb. I'm just trying to do it to show that he's actually decent. I'm angry. I'm already gonna give him the fucking energy rings. Fuck it. Fuck all. I'm using them. Don't judge. Don't judge me. What else is it? What? Okay, so he needs defense and resistance and luck. Those are ones he's not going to cap right away. Okay, that's luck. That's right, I'm making Forde good. You're saying Forde is bad? Well, guess what? He's good. You can't deny me this victory. Also, he wants to sit. People want to sit there and just. Whenever I say he, I mean the general public who watches and Manx or Mecha, like, because they're like, oh yeah, Forde sucks. So literally, you can just throw this on him, and he's on par with any other mounted unit. Like, I throw it on any Great Knight, and they're back up to their normal 8. Like, move. Take talisman. Use. Yes. Go supply. Take. Doesn't need speed. Doesn't need body rings whatsoever. Jellicrope, I'm not going to give that to him because he won't need it. Because 6 levels plus the 7 puts it up to 13, which means he would be 1 point over his health. And thus far, he's been getting 1 health successfully for every level, it feels like. I know I'm kind of wrong about that due to the fact that he's not like at 50 health or something. And he starts at level 6 with 24 health. But now that we have that underway, we can trade these to you. And we no longer need Ephraim. Okay, here we go. Now we just gotta hope that Forde doesn't take too many beatings. Also, I don't know what the hell that glitch is that's going on. It's been happening for a little bit. I don't know if it's with my save file or what, but whenever I press this and like flick through it, when it's like doing like the... God damn it. I am fucking dumb. Well, he's holding out on his own, so it doesn't matter if I don't move him or not. They can't do shit. Forde's too good. I mean, the fight we're waiting for is the Gwilgi, so I might as well just move him up there and take out the Gwilgi, because that's gonna be a real test of strength, seeing as quite a few Gwilgis are actually a pain in the ass. Like, there's 3 or 4 that you actually come across in the Lagdao Ruins that will murk any unit you have if you're not careful. Gwilgis can be terrifying, including the Vanessa Gwilgi that I had in my randomizer. Getting rid of that. Don't need that sword. Just having Forde do Forde things. See, it happened right there when I was done moving them. I don't know if you guys are seeing it or not, but it's like to me, what it looks like is that weird, like, old, like, GBA Pokemon symbol thing. Like, it's hard to put my finger on it. Like, when you're typing a Pokemon name, you have the little PK and then the MN for, like, Pokemon. Fight we've been... Oh, crap, I forgot to turn on animations. Oh, that's why he wasn't doubling. His lance broke. He didn't level up yet. Options. Animations on. Anyone in range? Nope. Golgi's move 8, so there's no point in trying to move him away, and might as well just finish him. Axe or lance? Axe. Well, here's another level up. Bet you he's gonna get at least 4 stats. You have to be shitting me. Really? Really, Forde? I can't be mad. I'm recording Forde. Forde is a lot better off screen. Forde's a lot easier to use off screen. Why, Forde? Why? Oh, probably. Oh, that's different. Okay, then. He maxed out swords. Hopefully he gets a solid chunk of XP from this. Yep, he does. He gets a decent chunk. Well, let's have him head down. Also, I like how even, like, when Mecha was talking about him and, like, the 100% growth thing, where everyone has 100% growth rates in all of their stats, he still sucks. Even though he's basically put on the same level of as everyone else. I just find it funny how much everyone just shits on Forde. And the more I use Forde on camera, the worse he just gets. He just gets worse. I mean, the first time I got to Rouston and I deployed Forde, he died like 3 or 4 times. Because RNG was being a real bitch to me, and it was just pissing me off. What? Oh, he's level 10 and he's level... I completely forgot. This isn't my save where I've basically maxed out. And, yeah, I forgot to mention, people say Amelia's shit. She's actually fucking good in general. Let's see what I did. She's a general in general. Yeah, never mind. It's not funny anymore. It never was funny. Also, I figured out Dusel is mediocre at best. Well, whenever I now use... It's strange how my frickin' RNG works. Like, sometimes my units are just god-awful, and other times they're just, like, the best units ever. I mean, look at Ross's speed. It's actually higher than it's supposed to be. At this level, I would be lucky if his speed was, like, 10 or 12. but most of the time I play, it's always higher. Also, people sit there and say Ross is worse than his father. His father's nowhere on par with him. I know he's level 1, but trust me, I've used Garcia a decent chunk to know that Ross is just way better. And of course, Vanessa's like the best unit to have. Okay, don't let me down. You've let me down last map. Don't let me down here. I'm just immediately putting you in range just so that way you can get that sweet juicy XP. Also, the top chest is always a melee weapon of some kind or a gem of some kind. The lower chest is always magic of some kind or a gem of some kind. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's always how it's been for every single time I played this, like, floor of Volney. Like, I normally get killer weapons or thunder or Luna. I occasionally get red and blue gems, but that's very rarely. Also, I played Gaiden. You can call it Gaiden, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's I figured out why Mang says it's boring. It's just boring as hell. Also, you'll hear me talking a lot about them because they're like the two main people I watch for Fire Emblem. I believe they're the two biggest Fire Emblem YouTubers for old school Fire Emblem games and ROM hacks. So what I'm going to do is run over to that chest, open it up, and get the other key. Checking to make sure it didn't stop recording. Okay, it didn't stop recording. Computer does that sometimes. It irritates me. Like I'm like halfway or a third of the way through my like little session and it just dies on me and it's just irritating. One rounding revenants without a struggle with a steel lance. See, a lot of people sit there and they're like, yeah, the Forde sucks because he barely one-rounds things. And it's like, have you thought of giving him steel and silver and possibly legendary weapons? Or are you just looking at him using iron? Because if you actually give him weapons, he's actually going to do something. My brother's walking by. My brother is a sane fanboy. He's like, you'd have to take 15% off of all of his stats for him to actually be bad. And it's like, yeah, you take 5% off of all of his stats or 10% off of all of his stats, and he's still going to be at least mediocre. Because that's basically how all units work. Hey, Ben. I'm trying to prove to, I'm recording and trying to prove that Forde is good, but he just does not want to cooperate. He got one level where he got absolutely no stats. I swear to God, Forde is just... Whenever I use Forde, he's a good unit, but he just doesn't want to cooperate when I record. And it just irritates me. Forde, you are one of the weirdest units. Let's just put it that way. One of the weirdest. Forde needs to punch his way through these enemies. And he's slowly doing it. Okay. He has over 50 uses total in the lance. Should probably turn off the animations. He's no longer fighting a Gulgi. These units are not impressive. All these enemies aren't impressive. I want to do an Iron Man. So basically, if you guys don't know about my grapback with my brother, me and my brother were forced to do Iron Man while my sister, who has less experience in the game, could basically restart to get her dead units back. I got Franz and Vanessa. I tried to get those ASAP, and then I tried to get Garrett. I believe I have Garrick as my unit. So the units you are allowed to use that weren't allowed to be grab-bagged were the Lords, the Tethies, couldn't take Tethies, and I believe also Myr. I believe those were the only units. And basically you could use a unit without leveling it up. Like, that was allowed. If you leveled up a unit, you couldn't level up a unit because you couldn't use a unit to level them up. And if you, whenever my units leveled up, because I wasn't paying attention, I would immediately execute them on the spot by taking all their items and forcing them to die. And see, the thing is I'm I'm attached to the entire cast of Sacred Stones, so it's hard for me to kill the units per se, but I have to, push on because, things happen. I mean, when I was a kid, I wasn't as attached to the unit, so whenever they died, I was like, oh, well, time to continue. Then I was like, oh, wait, those units were actually good, and I was supposed to recruit them in some way? Well, fuck. I believe one time I let Ross die on accident. That voice crack, though. Because I just completely forgot to have Vanessa pick him up and drop him off to recruit him. And I got, to chapter, 6 or 7, and then I was like, wait, where's Ross? And I was a pretty dumb kid when it came to playing games like Fire Emblem. Like, I could play Pokemon pretty well and memorized when Pidgey evolved and all of that sorts of stuff. But I could not figure out how to play Fire Emblem. Then again, it's a lot harder for a 7 or 8-year-old to play this game. My niece, who I believe is 7 or 8 right now, she struggles playing Fire Emblem because she ends up accidentally killing the units. Yes. Killer Lance. It's strange because I normally always have a killer weapon on Forde, like a Killer Lance, unless I'm not using them. Which isn't that rare, I guess. I use them half the time. The other half the time I don't use them because I experiment with Franz and just trying to use Franz for different things. I almost never use Kyle. That's just one unit I almost never use. Reason why Kyle is transformed and all that is because during this playthrough I just sat there at the arena grinding up levels and grinding gold. So I managed to afford transforming everyone. So I also kind of made this save file. Fuck. I know I say things right, and then it's like my brain is telling me, I'm sorry, you said it wrong again. It's hard to explain. Except for how I just did. My brain just does not like me speaking whatsoever. God, I love the Great Night animations. I now just remembered I was going to turn off the animations, and I just completely phased over me. I went over my head. Okay, wait. Options. Turn off the animations. One thing that always impressed me as a kid and still impresses me now is the fact that this game is pixelated and like it's still high detailed for what the game is. Like you can read the numbers, you can read the words, like all the pictures make sense. All the picture, all the pictures make sense for what they're used for and everything. Like I was a little like I watched TV and it had like way more pixels, but they were all smaller and made the picture look more high definition in a sense. And it just always intrigued me that this was how some of the older games looked. And it always just kind of impressed me that this is kind of where we started for like Japanese games and stuff that were brought over. And I don't think many of us really pay that mind to it because, again, it's kind of a game that we just sit here, watch, and are able to understand without just looking at the minute details of how everything works. Like, one thing that always got me, like, a little bit confused is, like, what are the walls in the Tower of Olney made out of? Like, what type of brick? Is it, like, marble, granite? Like, it has, like, this weird purple tint to it, as well as a slight blue tint. But it's mostly, like, gray and white from, like, the top of it. Also, another thing that I kind of noticed is if you were to take this map and turn it around, it would still make sense, like backwards in a sense. Like if you were to make this map upside down with like a normal way, like it would still kind of look like this, but different. Like from here, it looks like the floor is dropped down, and if you were to turn it around, it would still kind of look like it's dropped down. Like, I don't know any other way to explain it. Like, some maps actually would kind of look like this. And then there's the second floor of the Tower of Olney, where you have that long and narrow area up the side. And I always thought of that as kind of like a ramp. Like you're going up a ramp to a higher part of the tower. Because otherwise it didn't really, in my mind, make sense of how like the skeletons would shoot over it unless it was like a banister and like a higher like vantage point to allow for like the lower part with like the pillars was like the ground floor, and then it was a ramp leading up to like a plateau-esque type of style or a plateau-esque area where it's mostly just flat, and it would allow you to look over the edge and shoot at enemies coming in from below. Like my mind always tried to think of like looking at these maps as like 3D, seeing as they're kind of designed to look 3D. And it's just hard to explain the way I see things because I don't know. Like, oh, he got another level up. Guys, he got strength. I also think he got a piece of luck. I'm not sure. But I do know he got health because he's no longer at 49 HP. Did he level up twice or once? Because last time I checked, he was level 14. Oh, he got one piece of strength in that entire thing and 1 HP. Unless he didn't get hit, then he got 2. Did he get... He got 2 health. Ah. So he still has a chance of getting 3 health, so I can still throw the robe on him. See, yes, you can use Forde. You can throw things on Forde and make Forde good. I mean, when I was playing through, I didn't need to throw anything on Forde because he basically maxed stuff out naturally. See, it did it again. It was like when I was getting off of Forde's image. Had like that weird, like, glitchy color stuff. Then again, I've probably broken my ROM beyond expectations, or beyond a certain point, because, to be honest with you, I also know one other glitch. And let me look here. One of them should have it, if I'm right. Also, yeah, Archer's a broken unit. Just letting those of you know. Okay, it's not on any unit, but I want to, I should have it. It's in items. Supply. Should have it. Oh, this save file doesn't have it. Probably because I didn't do that mission yet. Ah. See, on my profile, I don't have any more rune swords because I burned through them all and sold like the ones that had like 2 or 3 uses left. But the thing is I had demon surges and stones and evil eyes that I could go give to mages like Archer. So, pick units. Items, supply, give, that, armory, sell, a gem, yes. Okay, supply, take, could give him a halberd. You know what, give him a silver lamp. Actually, I don't want to give him a silver lance just yet. Don't want to give him killer lance because there's some items, like the save file hasn't beaten like the final boss yet and hasn't beaten a few of the enemies. So I want to make sure that I still have some items to use against them. Because that's right, I use items. I don't entirely hoard. Fuck that, I totally hoard. I have so many fucking items. Also, Garrick is like the best unit. Like, in my opinion, of like the top few units I use, would be Fran's, like, I'll just say top 8 because that's what I can pick here. Let's say Garrick, Franz, Amelia, Ewan, Ross, Archer. Who would go in behind them? Vanessa also. And like the 7th place, it's hard to give it to because so many units are really good. Like Irika is, like when you have her level 20 and you can basically do all of the creature campaign stuff with just her. Just give her Demon Surge. Yes, it slows her down to like 3 or 4, but she's already like the fastest unit you got, Lord wise, and overall she can take hits pretty damn well. And things are very inaccurate against her. Yes, I know someone would sit there and be like, Seth's really good, but if you look at all of like your entire roster of all of your units, like Seth is equal to like half your units. Quite a few people actually can beat him, like heavily. I mean, there's some meh units like Dozla and Dusel who are good, but just not great. I mean, then there's Myr who could absolutely destroy Seth, but isn't allowed because she's one of your units, and well, I don't have a hack where I'm able to sit there and just use units however I freaking feel like it. Marissa's also really damn good. Like, people sit there and they're like, yeah, don't use the Tower of Olney, no grinding, and it's like, play Fire Emblem how you want. It's the way Ming says it. Play how you want. If you play how you want, all units are viable. If you want a unit to be viable, make them viable. I mean, look, you can do it with Forde. Forde is viable. Matter of fact, on this save file, he is probably still one of the best units I got. On my other save file, he is one of the best units I got. There is one thing I noticed, though, so I'm going to select Forde, deselect everyone else. Start, doesn't matter where he is. Now I'm going to suspend, because I want to show you something. Now, you already know that I made my Forde great, and it's easy to make him good. It just takes a lot of time and grinding, and basically overall just getting to know Forde instead of shitting on him. Now, hopping into the Link Arena with edit teams. Yeah, I need to build a new team on Creature Campaign Pick Unit. So, who I plan on picking are, where's my level 20 units? Okay, Ross is one. It's not him. I don't plan on putting him on the team at the moment. Okay, not him. So where's my other units that I planned on putting on the team? Yep, see, Evil Eye and Demon Surge. Can't put him on the team. I need to put Forde on the team. Items, supply, give, those, supply, take. So what I plan on doing is giving him Brave Sword, Light Brand, and a Wind Sword just to hold on to. Once I'm done having all of my units, I will. Oh, I know where I can do this. Pick items and go down 15, 20. I could pick her. Okay, 20. I believe I need to pick Joshua for what I plan on doing. Could pick Renok. Okay, pick units. Picking Ephraim. Okay. And I need to pick Colm. So supply, take, Iron Blade. Pick units, Renok. Items. So down here we should have items. So give all, give all, give all, give all, give all, give all. Can't give all. Okay, I'm gonna have you trade with Archer. Give him the aura. Supply. Take. Okay, what's one item that I don't currently need in here at the moment? Well, first let's just get these units sorted. So I'm going to have him trade to one of my units with empty inventory. See, I lost a save state where I've sold all my useless items like vulneraries and such. So none of those are usable. Take. Those are not usable. What else is not usable? Staves. Okay. Give all. Supply. Take all the staves. Take all the staves. Okay, now let's go through here. Give all. There's a reason I'm doing this. It's so I can see all my weapons. Supply. Give. I should have... Okay, there's a Zanbato on her. Give a light, give a thunder. Give both killing weapons. Not a short spear. Anything I need to take? Swift Soul's useless. Give Demon Surge. Also, I can't give Demon Surge to anyone except for Archer, otherwise it will break the arena. So now that I have basically all the swords here, take Althuma, that, and that. Give the Iron Blade. And seeing as Althuma kills the dead, otherwise it's just a normal weapon. So Killing Edge is what I'll need to throw on him. So he has Horse Killer, something to deal with lances, something to give himself health, and well, that's basically it. Supply, give, don't need normal steel, take. He already has a killer weapon. Take Horse Slayer. Actually, he already has a Horse Slayer and Armor Slayer on him, technically, with that. So we'll give him Siegemund, not Vidofnir. We need him to hold some other items. He can have the Short Spear. And he doesn't have a dragon weapon, so he has that. So give Lance. C. Give Short Spear. Yeah, we don't want him to have that. We want him to have Short Spear. And I want to say we give him the Brave Lance. Because he's probably going to need it with his lower end speed. Supply, take. So, weapon-wise, he already has both his dark magics that he can use. We need him to have Ivaldi. He'll keep the aura. Now, give him something heavier with more might that is more likely to hit, or give him something that's lighter, less might, has a crit chance. So overall, I would give him fire. But then again, I could also give him Fimble Vetter, which is a lot better. Give him Fimble Vetter. So he has his 2 dark magic, his 2 light magic, and he has his 1 anima. Before I had him just have Evil Eye, which was just enough for what I needed him to do. But with what I'm going to need him to do on this team is something a tad bit different. See if I'm still recording. Still am. Thank God. So he has a Brave Sword. First we'll give Ross his bows and axes. Those are his 2 bows that he needs. Axes. Garm. Hatchet. That's all Ross needs. Killer axe, killer bow, short bow, garm, hatchet. If I wanted to, I could take the bows off of him and give him more axes, but the thing is Forde already has 8 axes, so we can give him stuff. So, optimize them, supply, take, so Brave Axe. Where is it? Vidofnir. Okay, give, I'm pretty sure we don't need 2 ranged weapons. See, these are exactly the same, capable of indirect attacks, suffused with light magic. So what is best is, I think what we're going to need is Light Brand more, because it's more based around actually doing magic damage instead of melee at close range. Because if he is able to do magic, that gives him another use. So keep Light Brand on him. Lance Reaver, no. We can give him Axe, though. Sword Slayer, that will absolutely destroy any sword users. Could give him a killer axe. But I don't feel like he would need it. Don't feel like he would need that either. So if we give him that, he has full control of the weapon triangle, and he has full control of being able to increase his speed or his, his defense. You know what? I'm going to give him Vidofnir. Actually, take. I need to have him keep Vidofnir. And I need to give all other weapons. So, Brave, Light, Brave. Take. Brave. Brave. Light. Give Sword Slayer. Take. Sword Slayer. Now he has a Vidofnir equipped. I mean, I could have had just done trading. So, what I need is that. I know it seems weird. What do you do? Speed plus 5. Because if I put the Garm as his equipped weapon, he would be way too strong. Normally I would have him with a short bow equipped, but I want him to start with no weaknesses, except for the fact that he's slightly slower than normal. And in order to make it so Archer isn't attacked immediately, I'm putting a Valdi on him, seeing which is the best weapon to have equipped. So Althuma, already best choice. Okay, let's look here. Okay, that gives strength. So we're going to trade with Ephraim, make it so that way his Siegmund is equipped for that extra 5 strength. Could have Reagan Leaf equipped so that way horse or knight armored units don't attack him. Or I could put Dragon Spear so that way dragons won't be able to attack him. But there's only 3 possible units that can be dragons when fighting them, and that's Vanessa, Tana, or Tana, however you pronounce it, and Cormag. If you say Cormag, you're clearly missing a chromosome. So that's our team, and seeing as it's something to okay, I don't want that. I want just that, and put the number 2 on it. Okay, so the reason why it's number 2 is because number 1 is quite a bit weaker, and what I mean by quite a bit weaker is going to practice 2 teams. I'm going to play as number 2 and go against number 1. So I've revised it because level 12, level 11, and I replaced them with level 20, level 20. So everyone here, solid level 20. So I believe he has light magic equipped. No, he has dark magic equipped. So using a Forde against him would be broken. I don't think I threw anything. Yeah, I've already done that. Yeah, he's level 12 and he already maxed strength, skill, and speed. Shows you he's a god tier lord. Of course, she hasn't maxed anything yet because the way her stats are built different. Yeah, I always found it weird that his strength, skill, and speed are all like lower compared to hers, except for strength. Her strength is lower than his. But otherwise, her defense is slightly lower, and I believe her resistance is slightly higher than his. No, it's just res is slightly higher. Okay, that's weird. So, of course, I have Forde equipped with a Vidofnir, so that way his defense is a total of 34. On both teams, he has Vidofnir equipped. What weapons did I put on him before? Oh, Windsword. Yeah, I forgot I did that. So, unfortunately, oh yeah, duh. So the first thing I remember doing is I have to do this, otherwise I could become boned. Oh, because if I weaken him, I should be able to finish him. And he's the main issue I have issues with. He's just, yep, see, look, main problem. Immediately equips a hatchet and goes for Ephraim. So he has the hatchet, which means I'm going to need something that counteracts the hatchet way better. Of course, if I de-equipped it, I could die, which means I need to use something that has a lot higher damage. Demon Surge. Okay, let's go in here. Demon Surge has lower damage than the Sacred Tomb. Okay. The best thing I can think of is Brave Spearing him, but that is just not going to work. That's not going to work either. Put myself in a... Ooh, here we go. Forde, be useful. Please, for the love of God. With all of the stat shit and other things that I poured into making you a god. And you take him out. Hell yeah. Oh, Lord. I had to sneeze. I held it. He equipped a Voldy. That's going to be an issue. See, the thing is I know he's going to die, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Okay. Oof. What's your defense? Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. I forgot. Evaldi gives defense. He's up at 26 defense. He's a fucking tank. Ross doesn't even have that much defense for some goddamn reason. Forde barely has that much defense. Damn. Light magic is shit against him. There's not much I can do in this scenario with his thing equipped. He's not equipping a sword. Okay, that would work. But it would... Okay. Forde, please carry the team. No, Forde! Forde, why? No! Oh no, he took chip damage. He took chip damage from Myrica. He was green for a second. Or did I... Did I see that? Did I see that correctly? Was Forde green for a split second? Okay, he has spear equipped. Okay. I need to get you out of the way. You are on my turf. Yeah, why don't I just use Ross? The Ross is dead. I should be safe to just use Ross. I still have not maxed out his defense, which was dumb of me. I mean, overall, I don't think Great Knight is the best for the arena. They don't really do anything special except for the fact that they have several weapons that they can use, which means they can cover all areas, but they can only have one equipped at a time, which is the biggest issue. Oh, yep, I'm definitely doing this. Go Calm. A. Okay, now what will they do? They have two very strong units on their team. Oh, why do you still have the Brave Sword equipped? I need to equip something else on you, but that means I'd have to use you. God. Oh. Oh, okay. I need to get rid of him now. Well, he has that equipped. God. Do I go for 262s or 77? 262s. I say Vidofnir is the best bet. There we go, boys. Got another one under Forde's belt. Uh-oh. Yep. Showdown of the century, Forde v. Forde. Oh! Oh! Oh, Lord. Oh! Oh, Lord Forde. Oh, no, he's totally gonna die. It doesn't matter what I give his hand. It doesn't matter what I put in his hands. Please, for the love of God, crit. Oh, it didn't even do that much damage. Oh, fuck. Forde, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I couldn't keep you alive. No. Well, there he goes. He did what he was supposed to, and then he died. Now, let's see what you diddly did here. You will not stand a chance against Vidofnir. Vidofnir will absolutely flatline you. Who are you going to go against? Oh, oh, he chose a killer. He chose a Brave Axe. Yes! For deleted by critical. Hey, go Ross. Also, there's something I have that there's like it's hard to explain because when I built the team, I couldn't beat them until I figured out the major flaws that I put on the team. And then I realized it was the only way I could beat the team, and that was the fact that Ross had a short bow equipped, and I had to use my Ross to equip Garm. Well, back to Fording. Remember, you can't afford to get a bad level up. Now, oh, I know what I can label this. Can Forde be redeemed? I mean, it speaks for itself when I'm using Forde. It can actually be redeemed. Because, I mean, these are not bad stats whatsoever for being level 17 promoted. I do understand that they're not the best stats either that you can get in this game. Because Seth does max out his strength, which for me is a tad bit weird of Yeagan. I mean, yes, you can put him on the bench until you have a lot more promoted units around level 1, and then you just bring Seth back out, and you can literally just train him up like a normal unit. That's how I normally use Seth, is by using him that way. I mean, yes, you can use Seth to solo the whole goddamn game, but why would you do that? That's boring. Using one unit's boring. I do use every single one of the units in Sacred Stones, but I don't use them equally because I do have favorites. I will admit, I have favorites. And I favorite a lot more units over others. There's one thing I do remember, and that was getting A rank supports in my first game of Fire Emblem, like full-on playthrough with Forde and Franz was the one where I had to go back and bring Forde back to life several times because he kept dying on the mission. But the whole reason was he was next to Franz with a support, and he was actually finishing all the units that came up and attacked him. And unfortunately, Forde was a tad bit underleveled. HP. Best level up. Forde doing Forde things. Not the best level up. I mean, what is he gonna increase his skill or speed? Like, those are his, like, two of his strongest suits. I mean, yes, he's the Red Cavalier, and he's not really supposed to have strength, and, well, I mean, look at his strength. I mean, I did throw a couple of things on it, but I would say his strength was normal for being a Red Cavalier before I even threw him on him. I wonder, if I didn't throw the stats on him, would he have gotten his growths differently? And how differently would be his growths? Because he is dealing more damage and killing enemies quicker with a higher damage. Of course, I don't plan on saving this because I want to have my brother keep all of his his stat growths. Or, well, his extra equipment like talismans and stuff. Because I want him to throw them on the units that he likes, so that way he can build his teams to fight my teams. Like, what teammates is he going to use? I know he's planning on using Archer. That's one unit that I know he always uses because that's his favorite unit. I just had deja vu. It's weird having deja vu. I got an Iron Lance. I guess that's an Iron Lance I don't have to buy. I have a really bad habit of just item hoarding. Mainly just for the arena purposes, because, well, there's no other reason to hoard weapons in this, because you can buy them. But I don't want to sit there and go and buy the weapons from the arena, and you don't really need to use them either. You could straight up just sell all weapons and use only iron. That's one thing that kind of upsets me about Sacred Stones, is the fact that all you need is iron. All you need is fire. All you need is lightning. I mean, I'm not taking the other items for granted because those are great to use and great to have. I mean, I even remember the one time that I soloed for Mortis by just putting Eclipse on Ewan. And Ewan just hits him twice and knocks him down to 30 health, and I just went in and finished with one of my lords. I mean, that is like the second easiest way to do it if you actually land both hits with Ewan. Otherwise, the first easiest is, of course, to just bring Cyrene, bring Tana, and bring Vanessa as a uh, the Dragon Rider, Wyvern Knight, Wyvern Lord, whichever one it's called. Because honestly, it's broken the fact that you can just do triangle attack, get the weird attack, and then also do the critical all at once, all in one attack, and it's just broken. Having the supports, doing the special attack, doing the triangle attack, like crit, support, triangle, and then the special move that the Wyvern has. Like all four things stacked on top of each other instantly kill for Mortis. Like you don't even need any other stats on them. Did you level up again? Ooh. You got health! Guys! He's almost on par with the way my Forde was when I used him against for Mortis. I mean, I could do a run where it's just Forde. Or try to. I mean, I'm sitting over here and I'm like thinking like if I could, I would want to go back and just replay Fire Emblem without even remember knowing all of what I know now, because it was great to sit there and realize different units do different things and just learning the game. Like that is the best thing, like the best memory I have of Fire Emblem is just learning the game, because honestly, it's fun to learn how to play this game. But once you know everything about it, it kind of just drops off and becomes boring as a game. Because if you think about it, the more you learn about the game, the less there is to know about it. Like, you memorize a game by heart, like, all of the. Like, if you memorize the entirety of the game, all of the coding, all of the RNG, like, seeing as it's all base, like, it just. Because I'd seen a video where they're doing 100% growths in this, and the person that Mecha is playing with does the RNG thing where they just burn numbers. And honestly, it was kind of boring to sit there and watch the way they were burning numbers and just critting everything. Yeah, so watching the level ups were very satisfying with the fact that it's just like, oh, got all stats increased. But then again, if you think about it, just the after effect of everyone just being really good, it seems dull. Like, you can only hit a wall a certain amount of times before your blade gets dull. That's kind of how playing a game works. Like, I don't even know how I got to this point from saying Forde's usable to just the fact that this boring, it's familiar in so much of a sense that it's just dull. I mean, I love seeing new like hacks and trying to play the new hacks on my Chromebook and going and playing Gaiden and all that. It's a really fun series and everything, but honestly, I think I played it so much that it kind of just became dull to me. Maybe that's why I don't want to do like the playthrough that I was trying to do with my brother, was because yes, it's nostalgic, it's fun, but it's dull. I've played it so much. I started playing it when I was like 8, and I just played it nonstop when getting home. I had to reset several times. I had to go through the Tower of Volney so many times. I had to reset so many times. It's just, I beat the game like 3 or 4 times. Like, overall, I think I put more hours into this game than I put into Terraria. And Terraria I started playing and I just played non-stop. Like, this game, I played it on and off, but I still kind of played it non-stop. I still like Terraria, but it's boring because I don't have anyone to play it with. This is boring because I don't have new content, in a sense. Let's bring Garrick, so that way I still get some XP. So we're down to the final level up, guys. Level 20. Let's have him just take out all of these foot soldiers, and hopefully he'll get enough XP from the Entombed. So back to the hack that I wanted to create that I was talking about several minutes earlier. The hacked the hero that I plan on making will have end stats that look kind of similar to this, but its luck I think will be slightly higher. Like, if I find the piece of paper, I will type it out on a sheet of paper with like the starting stats and what this ending stats would look like. So before I kill him, options, turn it on. Also entombed her like mummy from Gaiden. And yes, Gaiden did do it first. I am aware. Gaiden did undead first. I sometimes switch on and off between saying Gaiden and Gaiden. Okay, he's almost there. He's just got to kill these remaining skeletons. Hopefully that should be the last of it. Also, I figured out that this going through the Tower of Volney is like amazing for like lower leveled units. Like, I mean, you could send units that are level 5 all the way through this, and they only probably reach level 10 at the end, if they're promoted, of course, because it doesn't give that much XP. Then again, all the units are very weak, and then you go into the Lag Down Ruins, and oh my god, all of the units are just, in a sense, feeling like they're overwhelming. Also, yeah, I don't like throwing any stat boosters on any of my units, because I like to watch them grow on their own without any stat boosters, and see how they end up at level 20. And of course, if they're pre-promotes, just get them to level 20. Because I like seeing them at like their full potential for the numbers that have been given to me for RNG purposes. So he one-shots this skeleton, this white. I believe the whites in this are spelled WHIT or WHIGHT, if I'm correct. My brain is still flatlining more and more. It's 2 a.m. Yay. Please don't. Okay, we didn't miss it. Okay, move you forward. We're gonna have you burn through the Killer Lance. Should not do that much damage. One shot, 41% critical chance. 41. You'll only like see that on Berserkers and Sword Masters and Super Trainees. Like base iron stuff, of course. So yeah, during my first full playthrough, I believe I had Ross with his dad, Amelia with Ewan, Forde with Franz. I also had what's the unit? Natasha and Joshua. And I always just gave a Killer Lance to Forde, because I was like, yay, higher crit on one of my favorite units. Also, the whole reason I liked Forde was because, damn, ponytail dude. Also, the whole thing that gave me the idea of giving Forde the Metis' tomb was due to the fact it said maturity increased. And seeing as he's an immature character, why not increase his maturity? Like, I connected 2 and 2 like that, and I was like, okay, this better give me a better Forde. Because everyone wants to shit on Forde. He's only getting 1 XP from these units. It's not that much. Then again, he's like level 19, and these guys are unpromoted monsters that are like level 15 or less. I wouldn't stretch it as far as saying level 15, but they look like level 15 Grotto units. If these were units from Grotto, like their stat-wise, like that would have had been like a level 15, I don't know, like soldier or something. Oh, sorry, I'm underestimating the capabilities of soldier health and overestimating their speed. So hopefully that's enough XP. No, still not enough? God. Okay, you go over here. You deal with that crap. Up is gonna activate the bridge. Pupper activated the bridge. Yes. Garrick. By far, like, one of... I already said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. By far one of the best units. By far one of the strongest. And just by far overall, like, goddamn good. Like, he's better than Deke, he's probably better than Raven, and he's by far better than Harkin. I mean, I like Harkin. Harkin's a good unit. In fact, Harkin's a great unit. I loved using Harkin. Harkin was fun. And for a pre-promoted unit that I believe joins at level 8, Harkin is goddamn amazing for when you get him. I mean, slightly under-leveled compared to where my units normally sit, because I'm like, okay, let me look up all the units in this game, see their growth, see what they are, and just pick them. And normally ends up with me being like, okay, I'm going to use Dorcas and Geitz and just switch between the two of them. Because thing is Dorcas is heavy hitting and higher, it has higher accuracy, while Geitz has higher speed and just, I think he also has like higher luck or something. I'm not sure, but honestly, I would compare those two to like the I want to say Christmas Cavaliers, but then again, it's Barcher and Dorcas that are like the Christmas Cavaliers. I would compare Geitz to more like Franz, but promoted and a warrior. I want to try and do the same thing to Wallace if I'm able to, where I don't use him at all. Give him the yawn. Give him Aphos drops and then see if I can make Wallace good. Then again, I have to see Wallace's stats and see if even just giving him the total 35% growth rate would even assist him. Oh, aw. I didn't see what he got. I think he only got health, because his luck, defense, and resistance aren't that high of stats. But oh well, if I were to throw the thing on him, he would have 3 stats maxed out, and the rest of his stats are already really damn good looking. Like, don't get me wrong, he would probably only be at 22 strength and have 4 less defense, I believe 4 less resistance, and 2 less luck than where he is now. But he would still be a really damn good unit and be very viable. Honestly, I would say he would be on par with like the strength and where Jagens would be if you were to max them out. quite a few Yagans, not all of them, but most of them. Because I know I maxed out Seth's level, and Seth had like 38 health. I mean, Forde is not that far off, and Seth maxes out his strength, but otherwise I don't think Seth maxed out any other items on when I got him level 20. So if you look at Forde, he is a very viable unit if you actually delve deep into what you can give Forde, what you can do to make him better, and just, yes, it would take time and effort and everything to put into Forde, and it would be like, yeah, that's boring, I don't want to do that, but imagine, like, Mecha, Mangs, if you're watching this, just try making Forde good. Just try. Don't shit on him. I mean, then again, that goes with all the other units you guys say are shit, because it all depends on how you look at things and, like, what you're doing for the game. Like, if you're planning on using Forde as cannon fodder, he'd make great cannon fodder, okay? Like, if you're thinking of how to speedrun this, I would not recommend Forde. If you just want to sit there, chill, and see what units can beat the boss, all of the units you get in Sacred Stones can kill bosses. All they can do, like, it's hard to explain, aside from the fact that all units in Sacred Stones are viable. All of them could solo the game from when you get them if you tried hard enough. I mean, hell, I never really used Cyrene, but I know she is a really damn good unit. Of course, I don't have her on this profile yet. But you saw her on the other profile where she's actually a really damn good unit. So that's actually it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Give Forde a try, like, subscribe, and go watch Mecha and Mangs. They're really good YouTubers, and if Mecha and Mangs are watching this, I challenge you to not level up Forde whatsoever. Get to Johanna Hall, give him the tomb, and then just have some fun with him in the Tower of Olney. Don't have to record it or anything, just want to see a screenshot of what Forde looks like afterwards at level 20. Get him to level 20, promote him, level 20 again, and just show it in one of your videos, and let me know what you think of Forde after you just mess around with him and try and make him a good unit. Because honestly, I would like to hear your opinion of, like, if you're just playing a casual game, would you do that to Forde just to make sure he can, like, beat the boss and whatnot? Well, I've been rambling, so I guess I'll stop this here. Thank you again for watching. Have a nice night.